we're talking all about rejection. Specifically, how do we deal with it? So feel free to join in, even if it's a couple of minutes in. Feel free to share this with anyone you think that would benefit from hearing this conversation. Please, as you know, I love to talk with people, not just at people. So make sure that you put in your comments, questions, things that you want to discuss when it comes to rejection. And for anyone who doesn't know, who am I, right? My name is Natasha Nurse. I'm the owner and co-founder of Dressing Room 8, the lifestyle editor for Plus Model Magazine, the host of Our Voices on 90.3 WHPC, lots and lots of things. Essentially, what do? I'm a blogger, I'm an influencer, I am a coach. I do business coaching for women entrepreneurs and women creatives. I'm a consultant. I'm here to just inspire, motivate, and activate people in their personal and professional lives. And rejection, why are we talking about rejection? So it's a big part of what? It's a big part of our personal lives when it comes to dealing with people and certain interpersonal relationships. Rejection plays a role in our careers, right? When we are applying for jobs and we get the no and it's, oh, people feel so devastated. Is there another way to respond to that? Absolutely. That's why we're here today. Also, just talking about how rejection plays a role in your life as an entrepreneur, right? Because I think that a lot of us, when you're on this journey, right, starting your own business, it's quite the venture. It's definitely not something for the faint of heart. And ultimately, you really want to make sure that you have that tough skin, right? Because you have to have that when you're in this game. And if you don't already have it, that's okay, right? Because that's what life's about. You work on building and growing and thickening up that skin. So first and foremost, what are like some common challenges or ways that people have said how to deal with rejection? Well, I'm a big fan of using really great entrepreneurial focused or business focused material because it has really great application for your business, but also your personal life. So I came across an Inc. article from 2015 and it's titled 7 Ways Superstar Salespersons Easily Handle Rejection. So go ahead, Inc. Let's see. So first they say, accept rejection and don't take it seriously. This tip made me laugh because like my husband and co-host of Woke and Free, he's always like, people take life way too seriously. And it's true, right? Because I think that yes, life is serious. Our goals are serious. Who we want to be in this world is a serious matter, but we can't make something so insurmountable in our minds where we are like crippled with fear or we're crippled with an outcome that we don't like, right? So I think what this is saying is like, rejection happens, okay, breathe and keep it moving, right? It's not the end of the world. The world does not stop turning. The Wall Street doesn't fall apart. You know, countries don't implode, right? Rejection is kind of a part of the process, but it's not the end of the game. So I think that that's what that's speaking to. They prepare and deliver very good responses. This is really interesting because what is that speaking to? When dealing with rejection, what's the best way to deal with it? Being prepared, right? So like if in the context of sales or business, right? If you're selling a product or service and the person you're speaking to is like, no, thank you. No, I don't want it. No, thank you. What would you do? Does it make sense to A, just be like, thank you, and walk away? B, try to kind of scramble to try to be like, oh, but did you hear? And oh, but did you hear? But did you consider? Okay. Or C, think about what people are saying what the person's saying to you and come up with an educated, conscientious response for them to then essentially reconsider their no, right? And so I think that that's what that's speaking to. The more that you're prepared to be able to discuss your product, your service, your offer, your proposal, the more likely you're able to elongate that conversation so that you can ultimately hopefully get the yes that you want, right? So that I think makes a lot of sense to me. They maintain, number 3, they maintain emotional distance. This is key because like Joyce Meyer, if you're a fan of her, I love her. She's always saying, you know, kind of think out beyond your feelings, right? A lot of us are just like, no, but I feel the certain kind of way about it. And everybody has feelings about something. Like, okay, we got you. You have feelings. Understood. But are you going to live with leading with your feelings, or are you going to lead with your mind? Are you going to lead with logic? Are you going to lead with things that objectively can be assessed, right? I think that the danger of leading with emotion is that ultimately your emotions, what? They change. So thus, ultimately, you can become very fickle in your outreach of things and what you're doing and how you're pursuing something, because you're not working from a space of foundational objectivity, right? But you're working from this space that is constantly fluctuating. Our emotions change, right? 5 minutes ago, I could have been happy, and now I could be like, oh, I'm tired. And then 5 minutes from now, I could be like super depressed, or you know what I mean? Like your emotions change. So I don't think that that's necessarily the greatest place to work from. But if you work from a place of foundation, if you work from hey, Terry Ann, if you work from a place of grounding, then the emotion that supports your mission focus is great, right? So if you have a business and you're promoting a product and service and your business means everything to you, great. That means what? The emotions attached will be excitement, will be energized. You'll have a stream of emotions, but again, the focus is the mission, the objectivity of what you're doing. Okay. Next tip is they create a lot of opportunity for themselves. This is really important when talking about rejection, because again, is one no the end of conversations with everyone else on the planet? Of course not. One no is one no with one person in one scenario at one time in your life. It's a minute moment in your life, right? But a person who can see past that and say, this is one stream, but there are endless streams in my life, in opportunity, in business, you wouldn't necessarily get so caught up with that one no, right? That's one X for this moment, for this person, right? But there are how many other opportunities, how many other conversations you can have? Endless. The answer is endless. The pie is limitless. The sky is limitless, right? These are not just phrases you say to be like, oh, that's so cute. Oh, you're so motivational. Listen, like you have to apply it. You have to really think about what's happening when you're hearing no's, when you're hearing rejection, so that you don't go down that rabbit hole of like, oh my God, this is so upsetting. But like pause, right? Like take a step back. Wait a minute. Let me get this together, check. Okay, this one person at this one organization at this one moment said no. Does it mean it's a no for the rest of the organization? Not necessarily, right? You can still potentially talk to someone else. And how many other businesses, how many other people, how many other scenarios are there for you to engage and share your proposal, your idea, your business, service? Endless. The answer is endless. All right. 5th tip, don't take rejection personally. Very, very important. And the distinction between emotional attachment and personal attachment to the rejection is key, right? So for me, I'll use me as an example. And again, if you are tuning in and you have comments and questions and you want to throw them in here, again, let's talk together. I love a conversation, right? So don't take rejection personally. So I am a coach and I'm a consultant. I'm an influencer, blogger, right? Those are all the things that I do. So, and radio personality, all that good stuff, right? So if I had, say, a proposal, maybe coaching, right? Maybe I was speaking to someone and I was like, hey, would you be interested in signing up for coaching? I think I could really help you in applying innovation in how you're pursuing your startup business, right? These are the things that based on a conversation I had with the person, these are the things that you said that you're thinking to work on, and this is how I think I could help you. And if the person responds and is like, no, I don't think I could afford this right now. I think you're great, but I think that this is something maybe I'll revisit maybe in the fall with you. Okay. All right. Understood, right? You can come up with various responses, but if the person essentially is ultimately maybe speaking about timing and financing, and so you can say, okay, I'll check in with you, whatnot, am I going to say, wow, this person didn't sign up for coaching? Am I going to personally be hurt? Like, oh, maybe she doesn't want to work with me. Maybe she doesn't like me. No. It's a transaction where I offered the discussion of services or collaboration doing business together. The person rejected the offer, but I am personally intact. It has nothing to do with me as a person. Now, could the rejection have come from the presentation? Could it have come from her personal, lack of understanding of how this was going to have an effect in her life? Maybe, right? There's a myriad of reasons as to why people reject you for a business offer, idea, ... right? Fill in the blank. But ultimately, no matter what that fill in the blank is, it's important for you to be able to separate and say, the transaction did not move forward at that moment, but it was not a reflection on me as a person. Unless someone indicates to you that this is a personally charged rejection, you cannot assume it has anything to do with you. So step away. So your business, your offer, your proposal, right? Fill in the blank is separate from you as a person. You cannot take rejection of that transaction and then impart that onto yourself and then start to what? Feel bad about yourself, feel bad about whether or not you can do this. All these negative self-talk items that come streaming through your mind, unnecessary. Cut it out. It was a transaction. It did not move forward in that moment, but you have to be personally intact every single time you're having these conversations. Otherwise, you will feel beat up in a ring, and eventually you will what? Get out of that boxing ring, because you'll be like, you know what, girl, this is too much. And you don't want to get to that place because it's unnecessary. That's unnecessary self-harm, essentially. It's like mental self-harm. Don't do it to yourself. Another tip from this Inc. article of 7 ways superstar salespersons easily handle rejection, 2015 article. They are mission-minded. I really like that tip because I thought that was, again, focusing on, well, why are you doing this, right? So, okay, you have a business, you have a service, cool, whatever. But why are you doing what you're doing, right? If you don't understand your mission, are you articulating your service, your idea, your proposal in the best way? Probably not, because people need clarity when communicating, right? And again, clarity is going to come as you continue to do what you do, your business or whatever your venture you're working on or whatever your proposal is, changes, it evolves, right? And so you have to always just be thinking, am I clearly articulating what my offer is to the person I'm speaking to, but coming from a mission focused, right? And then that will resonate more with whoever you're speaking to. Then the last tip offered by the Inc. article is they know ahead of time they will be successful. What is that speaking to, ladies and gentlemen? That is speaking to mindset. How many times do you go ahead with an idea, with a project, with a venture, with the idea first in your head of saying, no, I don't think they're going to say yes, but I'm going to try anyway. What is that going to yield you? Bull. Bull. If you don't believe that you can get the yes, then why the hell should the person you're speaking to give you the yes? That's completely illogical. What's my favorite quote, guys? Does not compute. This does not compute. This makes no sense at all. You have got to believe that you can get the yes before you actually hear it and receive it. I mean, I think that's logical, right? But sometimes, I don't know, people are really struggling with that piece of I believe I can get a yes. I believe that this person will say yes. And I get it, right? Maybe, your context of how you view your life, how you view how you grew up, the people around you, maybe they are all kind of making you focus on the no before you get to the yes. But again, life, what happens for you, not to you. You've got to figure out the mindset needed for success. People like myself, I'm trying to put out content to help you guys kind of really get that in your head, but it's up to you to have to put it into practice. You've got to execute this. So I'm telling you, if you are in business, if you are looking to change your job, if you are looking to make a transformation in your life, you have first step, no matter what you are trying to do, you've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe that it's possible. Because if you don't, then you will not yield the result that you're looking for. It's really simple. What we think gets played out in our lives. Please stop saying no to yourself before you can even envision the yes. Say yes. Will you get a yes every time? Of course not. No one can guarantee you that. If someone's guaranteeing you that, they're also trying to sell you sand at the beach. Don't buy in, man. Just walk in the free sand. But you have got to first believe in the yes. And you know what will surprise you? And I personally can give a testimony on this. More people will say yes to you than they will say no to you. And that is the blessing of this world. That is the gloriousness of having a strong, positive mindset, because you know it's coming. You know this yes is coming. And maybe this yes that you're looking for from this specific person doesn't come at this moment. But guess what? That person can circle back with you 3 months from now, 6 months from now, and you can get that same yes that you wanted before. Focus on the yes. All right. I had to get really passionate about that because I'm really frustrated with the continual propensity of people refusing to believe in themselves. It pisses me off, and it also makes me sad, because it's just like, why don't you believe in yourself? Why are you living a life that you don't believe that it's worthy of getting what you want? I just don't understand it. Right. So just please, if you want to give me a gift, do that for the day. Even to start on a daily basis, just believe in whatever you said you wanted for yourself for today, and then put it into practice every single day. And then guess what? It becomes a lifestyle change for yourself. All right. So, I got fired up with that. If you guys have questions, come on now, bring them to me. Or this phrase that I keep seeing in this commercial. Have you seen it? I forget what type of sea animal is in this tank, and it's like wearing t-shirts, and one says like, "Come at me, bro." Like, it's just super intensely weird. But like, really, guys, if you disagree with what I'm saying, come at me. Share what your thoughts are. But for anyone who's applied this in their life, most people are just like, yes, queen, yes. Like, you had me at positive mindset equals positive outlook, positive action, positive impact, right? Like, that equation doesn't really change. Okay. So now, what are the tips that I have to offer for you? The dressing room 8 tips to deal with rejection. All right, I hope you're ready for them. And feel free to like take notes and stuff like that, or obviously watch this on the replay. That's the beauty of our digital content, right? Once it's there forever. And of course, I will be downloading this and putting this onto the Dressing Room Mate Facebook, not just Facebook page, but the YouTube page. So you'll have it there as well. But please use this as a motivator for yourself as you're dealing with rejection. Okay, so 8 tips. Number 1, no does not equal no. Why do I say this? The minute that I stopped thinking of a no as a no, and it really became a maybe with another person, maybe another time, maybe with a different organization, I was so liberated from the idea of getting upset by the no. Oh, okay. So Terry Ann said, would you ever offer master classes for your life coaching to help others become coaches or motivators? Absolutely. I would absolutely love that. So yes, I will talk to you about that later, madam. Thank you for the tip. I'm going to write that down too. Masterclass for other coaches. Thank you, love. I have been thinking about doing some workshop development on the Dressing Room Mate page. So yes. It's in the works. Thank you. Okay, so no does not mean no. Okay, so I hope that is clear, right? And what do I write that down? I write literally no, equal sign, put a line through the equal sign, no. And what do I then do? No equals maybe. No equals another opportunity. No equals, and you can draw a line and fill in the blank. But you've got to stop seeing no as no. Similar and other content that I put out. You've got to stop seeing failure as failure. Teachable lessons. Right? Maybe you got the no this time because you weren't as clear as you could have been. Maybe you got the no because your presentation wasn't as professional as it could have been. Maybe you got the no because you were talking to someone who didn't understand your vision. Maybe you got the no because you were talking to someone who didn't like you, right? At the end of the day, it could be real reasons and it could be bullshit reasons, to be honest, right? Like, life is full of both reality and bullshit. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh, everyone you speak to is going to be like a legitimate person who's going to take you legitimately. No, of course, you will have people who will just look at you and be like, I don't like her shoes. No, done. Which is completely fickle and completely unfair. But that's a part of this game in life. So you cannot get caught up on every no and trying to, kind of rework. Oh my God, well, what did I do? It was a transaction. That transaction did not move forward. Okay. Keep it moving. Like that's the kind of sass and attitude that I want you to keep it moving. Keep it moving. You don't have time to deal with one no because you have endless yeses to be going after. That's what I want you to understand. All right, tip number 1. You got that. Tip number 2. Everything happens for a reason. Now, I personally believe in destiny. I personally believe in kind of the synchronicity that's happening in life where, ultimately, and I personally have seen results where, maybe I'll get a no and then I'll get 2 other yeses in a different way or different opportunities presented my way. But ultimately, what am I saying? I don't need you to believe every single thing that I believe in. Obviously not. You're a human being. You're not like a robot, but I do need you to understand that everything has purpose, right? The life as you know it is ordered chaos, right? So there's order to what's going on. And if someone is saying no to you in a personal relationship, in a career opportunity, in a business venture, whatever it is, there's a reason why this no is happening. And is it for you to have to presuppose and figure out what that no is? I mean, I think there's always quality success that comes from thinking and kind of reflecting on what's happening on a weekly basis with yourself, because I think a lot of us, we're too busy being busy and not thinking about the life that we're living and really contemplating the next steps. And now you can overthink, so you have to be mindful about that. But there's always quality and that come from reflection. But ultimately, unless you become a seer, unless you become a mind reader, you are not going to get 100% verification on why you got that rejection. But you can know what? You can know that everything happens for a reason. And so that you kind of can use that phrase as kind of a moment of solace, like a little blanket that you put over your mind and you say, I got this no, everything happens for a reason. I'm breathing. And now what? Right? And we just kind of use that as the closeout for that moment and keep it moving instead of having this lingering, which, so many, I've been guilty of it in the past as well, of just like, but why did they say no? Why don't they listen? That what if and why can go for your entire lifetime. There are people talking about why something didn't happen 40 years ago. Get it together. Like, get a grip. Because if you didn't know 40 years ago, boom, boom, you might not know now. So move on. Move on. I love that phrase. Keep it moving. All right. Third one, use that no as fuel to move you forward, not to stop you in your tracks. So what do I think about? Why did I say this? Okay. So ultimately, I like no's because A, I don't see a no as a no, but B, it says, when I get it, then it says to me, oh, all right, I got you, right? Because the best revenge in life is success. Once you keep it moving and once you have that mindset of like, one no is not going to stop me, one no is not going to personally bring me down, one no is not going to make me not move forward, it should fuel you to continue to what? Get the yes that you're looking for. If it's with a different person, if it's with a different organization, if it's with a different moment in your life, whatever, but you've got to use it as gasoline in this tank of yours, right? You cannot be like, oh, let me just pour sand in my tank. I'm not going anywhere. This knows this. Let me go eat some ice cream, go lay down. Let me binge Netflix. Listen, come out there. We have to relax and say, wait a minute. I'm not going to get destructive over, and change my life goals and my life plans and my life direction because I got one no. What does that mean? Does not compute. That doesn't compute. That doesn't make any sense, right? So one no is one no. See the singularity of it. See the lack of significance in it compared to the spectrum of all opportunities available to you. All right. Fourth tip. And we mentioned this before actually in the article, and I agree. Guys, I can't say it enough. Don't take it personal. Do not take it personal. If someone says no to you, like I said before, it could be for an objective reason. It could be for a non-objective reason. You personally cannot use it as essentially fuel to attack yourself. The transaction happened. You didn't get the outcome that you wanted. Figure out, ways that you can improve your conversation as to how you articulate your service, your product, your interviewing skills, whatever. But do not sit there and attack yourself. You've got to be your number one cheerleader. I really strongly believe in that as a coach, as a person who, who's lived it in my own life. And, you know, it doesn't feel good. Like, it doesn't feel good to say self-deprecating things about your body. It doesn't feel good to say crap about your abilities. It doesn't feel good to say all the things you can't do. So I don't know why people are engaging in this behavior. Stop. It's bad. Well, I do know why. It's a negative self-taught, kind of behavior that has become a habit. It's a negative habitual, you know, I would say self-harming activity, to be honest, but it's up to you to stop, right? It's up to you to make a difference. Every time you say, like I tell my clients, for every negative thing that you say, make 3 positive affirmations, and you will be tired as hell of having to correct yourself to the point where what? You just stop saying negative things, right? And you continue on with your day, because it's not adding to your day. It's not adding to your existence. Moving on, stay focused on the bigger picture, right? So when you're pursuing the new job, when you're pursuing the new mate in your life, when you're pursuing the new venture in your life, when you're pursuing the writing of the book, the starting of a class, whatever, fill in the blank, right? What is the bigger picture that's fueling you? Why are you doing what you're doing, right? Because if you continue to stay focused on that, again, what I say earlier, the mission, the objectivity of what you're doing, then the singular act of hearing no via email, via in person, it's not going to derail the mission, right? Kind of think about Mission Impossible. If, you know, if you are on a mission and you have to get all the way to France and you gotta jump over trains and buildings and and if someone, you know, you try to borrow someone's car and someone's like, no, right? Does the mission end, right? You know, Tom Cruise definitely proves that you can't, you know, you can't be derailed, right? When you're doing what you're doing, you just find another way. That's the same kind of vindication you have to have in your own life. Just, you have to stay focused, right? And also, if you're not clear on why you're doing what you're doing, that can affect the type of outcome you're hearing from people. You've got to be clearly articulating what you're asking of people, and it needs to be clear to them why you're doing what you're doing. So that's something that you can work on, and you can write it out. Well, what is my business about? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Who am I trying to reach? And if those answers change every year, every 3 years, whatever, that's fine, because that's the nature of what life is about. It's about evolution. We're not here to be stuck in the mud. That's not the purpose. But just be continually having that conversation in your head of like, why am I doing what I'm doing? And using that to fuel you forward in your mission. Next tip is work from a place of genuinity and authenticity. I say this because I think people are able to be very in tune with whether someone is doing something from like a good, positive place and whether someone's doing this from a not so good place, right? So if you say, hey, I'm looking to help women have a spiritual transformation in their life, right? Maybe that's the example. Okay, well, where are you on your spiritual journey, right? Where are you in this process? If you were to be your own client, would you be following your own advice? Would you be essentially getting the evolution that based on the tips and the offering that you're providing? If that wouldn't work on you, why per se would it work on someone else, right? You've got to be authentic. You've got to be genuine in how you're communicating, genuine and authentic in what you're saying to people, and it resonates with people. And to be honest, the more that you can be in line with that and demonstrating that with your words, with your content, with the activities that you're doing. Life. The more that you can do that with people, then ultimately I think you can get more yeses. So that's the value of being authentic and genuine. Okay, next tip. Determination. Guys, I will tell you this, that, you know, if you're not hungry enough for the type of life that you want for yourself, I really want you to question why you're doing what you're doing. Because if you're going to give up on the 3rd no, if you're going to give up on the 7th email for, you know, maybe you're kind of making a collaboration outreach, maybe you're trying to start a new business, whatever you're trying to do. And if you can give up midway through, I'm telling you, then you're not working on a path that you are truly passionate about, that you are truly willing to go all the way, because no one is going to believe in something for yourself more than you will, right? If this is your dream, this is your baby, this is your creation, you've got to be hungrier than anyone else on this planet. If you want a new job, get the new job. Am I saying it's going to be easy? Absolutely not. No one guaranteed life would be easy. No one guaranteed life would be fair. Sucks, yeah, but that's our narrative, right? So you've got to still be determined. And then lastly, again, believe in the yeses before you get them. I can't stress that enough. So what next? Ultimately, a couple of things. First, like I said, feel free to watch this over and over and over again. Feel free to contact me and speak to me a little bit about your personal journey with rejection, because we all have different nuances in what we're dealing with. Like for me, I would say in my past, rejection was dealing with it when I was pursuing, legal opportunities was like a big moment in my life, or even just like personal, just growing up and just trying to affirm myself and dealing with rejection, from other people or from, family members, whatever, like just dealing with that interpersonal, and then career rejection was the biggest thing. But sometimes someone might be saying, maybe it's in their entrepreneurial journey. Maybe it's in dealing with certain specific interpersonal relationships. We all have our own nuances. So if you want to talk to me, best way to reach me, my email, natasha@dressingroom8.com. If you go to my website, dressingroom8.com, you'll see my email at the bottom. You'll see all the social media handles. Where is this being hosted from? Facebook.com/DR8Fashion. That's the Dressing Room 8 Facebook page. But then also feel free to holler at your girl on Instagram. My handle is dressing_room_8. But again, email, best way to reach me. And I will put my email and the website at the comments at the end of this. But, talk. You've got to talk out what exactly is your specific nuance that you're dealing with, that you would like a little bit of assistance with, that you would like to talk out, the issues with. That's one thing. Also, I'm a big fan of documenting journey, right? Because we all play a role in motivating, activating, inspiring, and educating each other in this universe, right? I could have an effect on someone across the world simply through Facebook, right? That's how amazing social media and the internet has been for us in this universe, that we can touch much further than we could have even imagined many, many years ago, right? So reach out. If you have your own social media platforms, which I'm assuming you do since you're watching me on Facebook Live, you have the ability to impact other people. Don't be afraid to share your story. Don't be afraid to share your successes, because you don't even know how meaningful and miraculous that could be for someone else. Document your journey. Document when you're having successes. Document when you're having challenges, and talk through this process. And then, lastly, I just, again, encourage you. I know we're a little bit over. I just encourage you to believe in that yes. I encourage you to believe in yourself. Please don't cut off your own blessings. It's really sad, unnecessary, and does not compute. I mean, I really might get that tattooed on me, because a lot of people are doing things that don't compute. It doesn't make any sense. So don't be one of those people. And if you are one of those people, be on a journey to work on it. All right. So it's been a pleasure. I really appreciate your time and your participation. Thank you, Terry, and for being on here. Tara Casilia is one of the dopest people I've ever met in my life. So, you can all feel free to reach out to each other as you guys are commenting in here as well. And go to dressingroom8.com to know all my other upcoming live stream events. All right. It's been a pleasure, guys. Hugs and kisses. Bye.